Welcome back. As artificial intelligence takes center stage in reshaping industries and redefining customer expectations, the challenge for global technology leaders is clear. How do you cut through the noise and deliver real differentiated value? Flynn Maloy, Chief Marketing Officer of Lenovo ISG, is speaking to us on his recent visit to India and telling us about how his organization is positioning itself in a rapidly evolving digital world. I caught up with him on the sidelines of the latest edition of Lenovo's CIO Playbook. Now, according to the playbook, Indian organizations are expected to significantly increase their investment in artificial intelligence, with Gen AI projected to account for 43% of total AI spending in 2025. Now, while AI spending in India is forecast to grow by 2.7 times, adoption remains in its early stages. Maloy tells us more. With AI being such a big focus, how is Lenovo ISG, differentiating its offerings in such a crowded marketplace?
That's an awesome question. It is a very noisy marketplace. So I'll say, when we look at Lenovo's capabilities broadly, we are the #1 PC provider, the largest PC business, a huge devices business, cell phone business. We're also the #3 or #4 server vendor, storage vendor. So across the board, Lenovo brings technology to all parts of an environment. And in particular, we have like our corner of the room. It's a noisy marketplace. Our corner of the room is about bringing AI out to the edge. So think about, for example, I love to give this example to customers I speak to, like a hospital. So in that hospital, how many nurses with cell phones, or staff cell phones, or doctors with tablets, or a radiologist with a workstation, and in the basement there's private storage and servers. Imagine this whole environment delivering different kinds of AI to all of the different people in the hospital. Lenovo is one of the only companies that can do that. And so we often talk about, you don't have to take your data to the AI up in the clouds. Bring the AI out to your data, to that environment, that hospital environment, or schools, stores. Bring it out. And that's, we say, democratizing AI. And we think that's the next big phase. Lots of spend, lots of energy has happened in the public cloud. And that's great. We have some very amazing capabilities there. What we see as next is going to be bringing it out of the clouds all around the world.
Great. And Flynn, also give us an understanding. When you're speaking with, the decision makers on tech stacks for companies and organizations, when you're interacting with CIOs, how has your engagement and how has your strategy from a chief marketing officer lens or point of view changed or evolved in the past couple of years?
Another great question. I would say it's kind of like in the early days of cloud, where the whole industry is still trying to figure out what we're doing. You saw that in the tech day and some of the conversations we had on some of the data that we brought forward. Everybody is still trying to find out what we should do. So in my opinion, how the chief marketing officer role has evolved is, we're not just telling you our corner of the room and here's what we're doing. We're also educating, because we're all learning about this together. So uncovering what is the next set of data, what are some of the best practices, who's winning in the market and what they're doing. This is part of what we need to market to our customers. That's what they want to hear from us. So it's not just talking about us, what we can do for you, but also there's, in this AI world, it's this education that we're all going through. And it's our job as one of the leading IT vendors in the world to bring forward what we're learning as we're learning it, and what our customers are learning as they learn it.
India is also seen as a global tech and innovation hub right now over the past couple of years. So how has that changed your strategic priorities in this market?
Well, and we see that even in the research that you just referenced, how India has leaned in and early adopted, experimented, and then starting to build foundational level AI ahead of most of its peers in Asia, and even one of the most bold countries in the whole world on that subject. And seeing some of the progress that India is making, what we find out doing is looking over and over at Indian case studies, it works, everybody's learning it together, and we work with clients, thousands of clients all around the world, and we're taking some of the best practices, the fail fast experiments and foundational building of AI from India and exporting it, because India's at the front of the wave. And so
Yeah.
it's giving some great examples and great use cases on how to do it and now not to do it. You can see both kinds of case
Yeah, and
studies.
also with the kind of scale that India provides
Yeah.
for a company
Absolutely.
such as yours. But having said that, and because you also mentioned that how you're learning with the world, having said that, what is the kind of skill set that, like a B2B marketer such as yours needs to develop in, the environment like that we are in today?
Well, I think...
And the mindset, of course, the skill set and the mindset.
One of the things, it's a great question, and I'm constantly mentoring, my team on the subject of, we have to be content experts. So, for example, I myself am AWS certified, Azure certified, ITSM certified.
Wow.
Learn the content, because if you can understand the content, you get more fluent in the language. And if you get more fluent in the language, then you can speak the language of to who you're marketing. Quite often, especially in high-end B2B IT, it's complex stuff. And as you sit down to build your marketing, of course, you're interviewing the subject matter experts and the engineers who themselves have masters in computer science, and being able to tease out the differentiators and the content from them and then understand what you're saying and be able to build it into a strategic marketing message that translates to more than just the IT experts. It's one of the things I admire most about some of the best marketing campaigns over the last 10 years is they're not actually just marketing to the IT folks. They're also marketing to the business and to the end users. Think about how a lot of cloud is marketed. Think about how other types of AI workloads. You're not saying buy my thing, it's 0.5 faster. What you're saying is, here's how to be a better bank with AI. Here's how to be a better financial company with AI. So you need to understand and translate and then turn that into a message that isn't just for IT. That's what I say, and I don't think we're going backwards on that subject. I think as we keep going forward, becoming smarter on the content and talking to not just so you understand it, you're not just translating IT to IT, you're understanding it, and then you can talk to the non-IT folks.
Yeah. One of the another interesting data points that emerged out of your study was how the overall AI budget has increased by 3x for many of the enterprises and organizations. So where are we headed from here? Is it going to keep on increasing going forward? In what direction? And what else do we expect going forward? What are you hearing from some of your clients?
And so let's be specific about the data point that you're referencing. So when we asked our 3,000 customers around the world, or partners, IT leaders around the world, what do they think is going to happen? They think that they will be spending 3.3 times as much on AI as they did last year. What does that mean? That means inside of a pie chart, maybe they were this much, and now they're going to be this much. So it doesn't mean it's going to be 3 times everything else, but it is increasing. And I know you had rightly sort of suggested and asked, so where's it coming out of? Because the whole pie isn't getting bigger, not in this time, especially not with, all of the
so many
unpredictability of the
pressures,
world. Absolutely right. So what we're seeing is a requirement or a request to modernize IT. And as you modernize IT, we see this a lot as we're talking to enterprises and small and medium businesses, we're helping you build out for an AI workload. Well, it's not some customized, specialized thing that is only good for this one trick. What we're asking is, can we help build a modernized platform? And AI can be some of the things that we run on it, but not others. And so if we're going to spend more money on AI, we want to be able to ensure that some of that budget also covers what is coming out of it. So it's about being smarter, it's about refreshing the tech and being able to do more with the same technology. You also heard, we talked about in the session, thinking out of the box about how you can monetize your current assets, such as Lenovo's got a tech buyback program where we can monetize the old while we help you put in the new, or think about a different business model, like an as-a-service consumption business model. There are other ways to tackle the same challenge, because what we're not seeing is people saying, oh, well, because I'm going to buy a bunch of AI, I'm going to stop buying these other things that my business really needs. That's not what we're seeing.
Happening.
That's not what we're happening. But we have to think out of the box about how can we do this that also covers this. How can we change the business model to get more with the same amount of money?
Great. Thank you so much, Flynn. Thanks for
my
joining
pleasure.
us today. With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.